Hello there. Welcome to Channels Beam. I am Victor Matthias. We are currently living in the social media age where distances is being covered by information technology and the world has indeed become a global village. Even in the remotest of locations on the face of the earth, technology makes communication possible and now allows real-time conversations to occur over unimaginable distances. In a country like Nigeria, with a dearth of adequate healthcare facilities and a perennial manpower shortage, many folks have lost their lives due to delays in accessing skilled and qualified medical care. However, it looks like cavalry has arrived by way of some medical practitioners who have chosen to harness the power of instant communication via social media to help patients irrespective of the distance. In a few words, your doctor is now online. Today in the program, we will take a look at how social media is being used for social good across Nigeria and how this trend can be encouraged. Joining me is a Dr. John Osakwe, the brain behind the social media-based health care service, as well as others from around the globe. Just before we get the conversation started, let's take a look at other trending topics in the country.
Free Siakson. Yusuf Isiaka Onimisi Siakson was detained by the State Security Service for tweeting live photos of a terrorist jailbreak at their headquarters in Abuja. This sparked an outcry on Nigeria's cyberspace as concerned citizens demanded his release on Twitter. Mo Cheddar. Nigerian singer Mo Cheddar, who released a new song featuring rapper Phyno after 2 years of missing in action, trended on Twitter as fans took to the platform to welcome her back and post reviews of the song.
Now let's meet our online contributors.
Essentially, for the benefit of those that just have the rhetorics, we've been hearing about social media, but they can't really place a definition to it. Let's just start, from there. It essentially is about conversations and interactions, which ultimately leads to engagement. But the good thing about these conversations and interactions, it's technology driven, and it's from a platform. If you have access to internet, and of course technology, your mobile phones, your laptops, your desktops, then you can use any of those platforms to spark conversations. In terms of how Nigerians are using it, to drive change and for social good, I could just give a few examples. We've seen all the safe campaigns that had happened in the past and is still happening. I can remember the Safe Fumi campaign, the Safe OK campaign, where young Nigerians just come together to use social media as a platform to crowdsource funds, for people that need funds for one medical, for medical purposes in general. And of course, we also have the free campaigns, like the most recent one that is staring everyone in the eye, about the young man that made life updates during the attempted jailbreak. And then after that day, nobody heard from him again. So the conversation also sparked from social media. I believe even before his family got to know that he's no more freely moving about. There's been a huge outcry on social media, people demanding that, okay, even if he was arrested for live tweeting stuff in the course of a military operation, yeah, no problem, but at least we should tell his family where he is and all that. And the conversation sparked from social media, and I think enough further escalated. And the good news is that he has been released. So I would want to also attribute that to what young Nigerians, Nigerians in general, are using social media to do, not just as a platform to have fun and then just to chat and then laugh. They also use it for even more serious things. That could also have a way of defining our narratives and shaping our future for us as Nigerians.
I think I embraced social media fully when Facebook was introduced. That was about 2008 period. And as a student, I used it to actually find out more information. And during the period of JAM, you can actually get information about so many things, about when it's written, about when results are out, and so many things. And then when I got admission in school, um, I've actually used it to learn to interact with other people from so many other places. When you're in social media, you have no idea who you're going to meet. You have no idea who you're going to talk to. And I've learned of so many events. Like I met Blossom recently in an event here in Abuja, and that was through social media, and it was a really inspiring event. So I think as a student, I've actually used it to learn to interact better with people.
As an individual using social media, you shouldn't just be at ease and assume that every connection you have online is actually geared to be friends, you know, like you have friends in real life. The thing there is this: you have to be very, very deliberate about what you push out. Let every information you push out on social media be the exact thing you wish people to know concerning you. You get that? Because there's this saying that the web never forgets. There's web archives, a lot of projects going on whereby someone can be able to cut off what you posted some days ago and maybe deleted. And of course, don't forget that a lot of people are using social media with their mobile phone. So it's very easy with their mobile phone. So it's very easy for someone to quickly do a screen grab of whatever thing you posted. So even when you delete such comments or updates, it's still there to haunt you.
A black guy was shot by the police because they thought he was armed, and that's part of the riots. Yeah, but in that instance, I mean, well, I'm not sure that represents a very positive example of social media use, because actually, if I remember correctly, it was the BlackBerry, what you call it, a messaging service that was used then. I guess Twitter was not as popular as it is now. But that wasn't, I mean, obviously that wasn't a very positive use then, because basically it was used to incite people into more violence. But again, everyone was held accountable for their action. Like Blossom said earlier on, it's about discretion. You know, I don't think there's a difference between stating a fact as you saw it versus, and then allowing the recipient of the facts to decide what to do with it, versus subtly making suggestions to break the law. In the case of that London incident, people were actually sending out messages to encourage others to join in what was clearly illegal acts. I'm breaking into the shops. I just got a free TV from this shop. Join me there. Things like that. That's clearly inciting others to violence. That is wrong under the British law, and I'm sure under the Nigerian law as well.
You know, we have a lot of citizen journalism these days, and definitely you guys are the authentic journalists. So when citizens act, they act, number one, excitement is what drives them, and the fact that they are breaking the news. You know, so when you have the satisfaction that you are breaking the news, at that point you might not really want to use a lot of wisdom in whatever thing you do. So it becomes very difficult to draw the line between you know, being a citizen journalist that is breaking news that should drive conversation outside, and being a hostile that is feeding the you know, the insurgents with information that they need to carry on their activity as they have been carrying out. But I think even traditional journalists have made it a bit easier for citizen journalists to also contribute while being under the cover of the bigger platform. I know CNN have what they call I reporters or something, eyewitness news. I think you guys have that.
TV as eyewitness.
Yes, yeah, eyewitness. I think channels have that as well. So the lessons to draw from this, which I also learned, like, I believe I'm in that kind of situation, which I don't pray I will be. I will most likely not use my own platform to share this information. I might just want to feed it to the guys through an eyewitness reports and let them now know how to edit it and then push out the information, since they know the laws that guide publication and broadcasting, which I, as a citizen journalist, don't know and will most likely never know. That's the thing. And in the then also trying to also draw the line. I think it's all about, using personal wisdom. There are some things I see, and I know that if I post this thing, it can sensitize people to take drastic action. God forbid, probably I'm on my way and I see some, we have this tense atmosphere in Benue State, the indigene settler dichotomy, and probably I see things, people are being killed at random, and I just take these pictures and push it online. That could actually drive, it could actually cause a conflict, probably in some states of the nation, who could say, oh, they are killing our brothers in Benue State, and those ones go into the streets and they start retaliating on the community, probably Benue community in their own community. And this is where it becomes a bit, the imbalance comes in.
In regards to social media and the impact of social media, I think social media, as the name suggests, is a platform where people can communicate and share information. Now, I think that is particularly important in the case of us Nigerians, because the traditional media has basically shown itself. Everybody knows that many of the media outlets in Nigeria are owned by politicians, corrupt politicians. We also know that many journalists take money from these politicians, and whenever they do conduct interviews, those interviews are conducted in such a way as to bolster the image of corrupt politicians. So it seems to me that at this junction in our history, the history of Nigeria, social media represents a revolutionary platform where Nigerians can come together, share information about our experiences, our condition, and begin to articulate steps or a program to change that condition. Unfortunately, though, it seems also that Nigerians, being as we are now using social media as a platform to do nothing. I will illustrate to that point, just to give an example. This Free Klaxon campaign that just kicked off this week over this chap who was arrested. Now, I see a lot of Nigerians making a lot of noise on the internet, on Twitter, on Facebook about Klaxon, Free Klaxon, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, there are thousands of Klaxons in Nigeria. Why don't we do something to address the fundamental situation in Nigeria instead of focusing on just the one individual? So from that point of view, social media reflects the psychology, the mindset of Nigerians, where we like to spin our wheels. We like to pretend to be doing something whilst we aren't really doing anything. And I just think we really need to wake up and realize the revolutionary potential that social media represents. As I say, it is a platform that we can use to educate ourselves. That is the number one need of Nigerians today: education, awareness. We need to understand our condition, why we are in this condition, and what we need to do to change that condition.